My name is Carol Borrill. I'm an organisational psychologist working in Sheffield Health and Social Care. I do a huge range of activities in the Trust, all with the purpose of helping individuals, teams, departments to be more effective in their work. We decided to introduce a coaching approach into the organisation. There are two main drivers for it. One is on the back of the Francis report. We introduced a range of initiatives into the Trust to create a more compassionate culture in the organisation so that we engage with each other and with service users in a way that is more compassionate. And so coaching formed part of that. And it's being introduced at a number of levels. So we are using health coaching with service users, and we also have a programme which supports people who are working with service users and managing people who work with service users to use facilitative coaching approaches in their day-to-day work.
I always thought I had a facilitative approach to managing people, and I think it's reinforced that for me. And I've done all my PDRs in a coaching style now. I'm really sort of more conscious about using those approaches, and my interactions with staff that I work with are really more mindful that this is a way that you can help people reach the potential rather than telling them what to do. If they can work things out using their own skills and talent, then it just works better. You get a much better return from folk, and people are happier in the work and more willing to try things.
I really connect with the ideas of coaching, and it was just such a great opportunity to be able to immerse myself in those ideas more and to be able to ground that way of working more in my working practice. So I thought, if I can get on this training and do coaching, I'm going to be able to work more in the way that I really believe in and want to work. And so that's why I applied to do the training.
People have the opportunity to access an intervention which will help improve their performance. And we have set up a coaching service which by the end of June of this year will have 26 trained coaches in it.
I think one of the things that's been really good about this course is the quality of the training. It's been really good having Carol, who's from our trust, working on that training, and Anthony, who's come from outside, and I think that combination works really well together, so it gives us that connection and understanding of the organisation and the skills that Carol brings, and then Anthony's knowledge sort of from outside and connections into the wider system has been really powerful. And it's really clear that that course has been developed very sort of thoughtfully and effectively, and has been really engaging and challenging.
How a group of very diverse practitioners and people from different backgrounds in the organisation can connect so much about one particular way of working, which is a very powerful way of working. I think gaining that insight has been really important, because again it's kind of thinking about everybody's potential to work in that way and seeing it happen in real life. I think that's really kind of struck me and stuck with me. And the opportunity of doing the training has been great.
We have a leadership meeting every 4 months in the Trust, and it brings together leaders from across the organisation, and the focus yesterday was on coaching. And the feeling in the room was just amazing. The excitement in the room from both the people who were trained as coaches, but also the people who for the first time were learning about coaching and also having an experience where they were being listened and listening to somebody else. And some people said that they had never been listened to for 5 minutes before. And some people found the experience of being listened to quite challenging. The point I made was that actually coaching is hard work. When you're being coached, it's hard work. You are working really hard on identifying solutions for yourself.
Yeah, so I've had some quite powerful experiences really, and I think that's what's underlined for me what the potential is for the coaching. So on the course we do some sort of short sessions of coaching each other, so there's been a couple of things I've talked about there. So one of them was a story about having had meningitis 4 times, and on the last time I found out what had caused it, so I made a commitment to myself to write this up and let so that people could find out online about it to avoid it happening to them. But I hadn't done it, so it was one of those things that was at the bottom of the list. So the first day of the coaching I was thinking, well, that's something, don't want to talk about it, well I won't now, and I did. And in that 20-minute session, I'd kind of gone from this thing that I would never have done it to realising I wasn't doing it because I was frightened really of the emotion of going back there and connecting with it. And then coming out with being challenged to, well, if you do, when could you do it? And me saying, well, actually, I'm on my own tonight, I could do it, or it's too soon. And then think, well, actually, I do want to do it, it is important. And I went home and did it, and I've got that now on the website, and it was fine. And I think that my worries about how my family would react to it, it was all okay. And I would just never have gone there without doing the coaching. I think it just stood out to me as an example, and that was one of the things I talked about when I spoke at the conference that we had yesterday, in terms of just sharing, I think, some of that impact and the power that the coaching can have and what it offers and what it's offered to me as an individual as well as somebody that works at the Trust in my job. It's about the whole person really, and the confidence to take things forward and look at things a bit differently.
The individual coaches, they talk about their experiences of the people that they've worked with and the difference that it's made. So, for example, we had somebody talking yesterday about the impact that coaching had on him. One of the things he talked about was the extent to which it's improved decision making in his team. Through coaching, he got clear about the different types of decision making that was needed and the ways in which he needed to involve people, and when he needed to involve people, he shared this with his team, and he said it's had a huge impact on both the way the team works and his relationships with his colleagues. So over the last 18 months, upwards of 80 people have received coaching. So if what I've described is replicated across all of those people, then it's going to be having a big impact on the organisation.
It's changing the way that I work alongside people. I think particularly in jobs where we're working on big transformational projects with a whole ranges of stakeholders, it's just really helped me to think about how I interact with them to help us work together more effectively, and certainly going forward in terms of one of my key parts of my new role is particularly looking at governance and leadership, and the coaching fits so well within that. So in terms of supporting people to develop and bring the services on and share their ideas, and also for myself within that, I think to continue to progress and use the supervision to reflect on my practice. It's really good.
The other way in which it's having an impact is that all of the people who have been through the training, they use their coaching skills when they're formally coaching, but it shifts and changes the way they engage in their day-to-day working lives. They work in ways that enable people to solve their own problems, so they become less dependent on managers for solution and are supported to think through problems and solutions for themselves. So it's going to really shift accessing the potential of all of the people who come to work each day and often feel frustrated that they're not using everything that they can.
I think folk understanding that it is driven by helping people do the job better. It's not just sitting down and having a chat, it's what do you want to achieve and how are you going to go about that.
The coaching initiatives that I've been involved in is one of the best things I've done in my working life. It's really exciting and rewarding seeing the impact that it has on people who are trained, on the people who have received coaching, and it's also, as I mentioned, the coaching approaches we're using with service users has just been really fantastic to hear the stories about service users through the coaching that they're receiving, to be able to take control of their own lives and achieve recovery through learning to solve their own problems.